Hello BookTube, it's Angela and I am here to present to you my June wrap-up. The month of June was an okay reading month for me. I managed to read a total of 9 books and have put a dent in 3 others, but I don't think they really count. But let's jump right into what I read, shall we? The first book I read was After Ever Happy, the 4th book in the After series by Anna Todd. And I really did enjoy this series. I gave the 4th book 4 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it, but there were just a few little things I felt could have been better. Book number 2 would be The Cuckoos Calling by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, and I gave this 4 stars as well. I cannot wait to read the 2nd book in the Cormoran Strike series, The Silkworm, I think it is called. I love detective novels, mystery novels so much. They are right up my alley. But the thing with this one was I was able to figure out who was the killer too easily. The next book I read this month was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and I will link my review right here. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Don't hate me. It is my honest opinion. I know this is a widely popular book on BookTube, but the ending made me really anxious to continue on with the series. The next book was an audiobook, and that would have been The Bat by Joe Nesbo. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. And this was another 4 stars for me. Audiobooks just seem to be a little bit trickier for me to get into because I normally listen while I'm doing something else, so my attention can sometimes jump from the book itself to other things, and it makes me lose focus. Plus, the narrator talked really fast. He was like this the whole book, and I was just like, whoa, slow down. I mean, I know I talk fast, but this guy was like 90 to nothing. The next book that I read in the month of June is Survival Strategies of the Almost Brave by Jen White. This was Jen White's debut novel. It is a middle grade, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, I'm pretty sure. It is about 12-year-old Liberty and her 8-year-old sister who get abandoned by their father at a gas station on this road trip, and they must find their way back home with an interesting cast of characters. I really felt like the characters could have been more developed in this book, but I really did enjoy it and I thought it was super cute. And then we move on to a book that I buddy read with a few people over on Twitter, and that would be An Ember in the Ashes by Salvatore, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars to. I do have a review coming up for this book, so stay tuned for that. The next book I could not put down, and I wanted Carrie Ryan to go to work for me because she caused me to stay up really late and be super grumpy a couple of days in a row, but of course it is The Daughter of Deep Silence because I kind of spoiled it when I said the author. Sorry about that, guys. But I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5. I do have a review coming for this as well, so stay tuned. I really love this book. Oh my gosh, you guys. Read this book now. Do it. The next book I picked up from the library, and I started this series because Trina over at Between Chapters really did enjoy it, and that would be The Lying Game by Sarah Shepard. I really like this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I have no interest in reading Pretty Little Liars because I'm such a huge fan of the show. Well, kind of, sort of. It's getting complicated. But this book was different. I was really intrigued. The only bad thing was I had a hunch on who the killer was, and I had to look it up even though it is a 7-book series, and I was right. If you read mysteries like I do, you know certain things to look for, and I just felt like once I picked up on a few things, it just made it a little too obvious, but I still really did enjoy it, and even though I know who the killer is, I fully plan on reading the remaining 6 books. And the last book that I fully read this month would be Born of Illusion by Terry Brown. This book is a 3 out of 5 stars for me, so yes, it is set in the 1920s, and it does involve magic, 2 of my favorite things. But I just felt like there were things that needed to be expanded on, and it was a major problem because it was mentioned but never touched on, and that really drove me crazy. I felt like it could have lended to the plot more and drew me in even more if they were expanded on just even a little bit more, but that didn't happen. So honorable mentions of what I am currently reading would be Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. I'm about 300, maybe a little under 300 pages into it. I'm also listening to Written in Red by Anne Bishop, and I am loving it. Even though audiobooks, like I said, are a little more difficult for me to get into, I want to go back to the library and pick up the physical copy. And I also decided to start Vampire Academy, which is really intriguing so far. I'm really enjoying it. I also want to remind you guys that Wednesday, July 1st, starts A Very Hairy Summer, which is a Goodreads group hosted by me and Adriana, where we are reading the Harry Potter series this summer from July to September, and I hope you guys can join us. We have dates set out for each book, and I will link the Goodreads group down below. So if you can't read every single book, maybe you can join us for just a few. We would love to see you guys there. That is it for this video. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I will see you guys soon. Bye.